Welcome to the ORCV's start of the 2015 Tassie Christmas races, the 44th Melbourne Hobart Westcoaster and the 108th anniversary of the Rudder Cup, the Melbourne to Devonport yacht race, two blue water classic ocean yacht races. We kicked off the day with the pre-race weather briefing at Blairgowrie Yacht Squadron. That's me, the Commodore, Ray Shaw, race management, and Simon Dryden, the race director. Some early race preparations at Blairgowrie. Crews were pretty keen to get on their boats, including some of those that participated in the Cock of the Bay on Saturday, and including some boats that were either heading home and not going down to Tassie. The good ship Yoko, Robin Hewitt, heading down to the start of his 34th consecutive West Coaster, and navigator Trevor Huggett in his 35th. Some eager faces there. And there's Peccadillo, the multi-hull, Charles Meredith, who's the Commodore of the Multi-Hull Yacht Club of Victoria. Great to see him in his second Devonport race. And as we leave Blairgowrie and head down to the start at Portsea, good ship Yoko there with the crew getting their sails ready, with the commercial ship in the Southern Channel there, and even the Queenscliff ferry in the background. Also heading down our start boat was David Leroy on the Royal Yacht Club of Victoria, Thorson. Bacardi, the bus. Martin Power, skippering Bacardi's doing the Devonport race this year. Local Cuda boats from Sorrento provided a great backdrop as the fleet headed from Blairgowrie down to the start line off Portsea Pier. Laurie Ford, skipper and owner of Spirit of Down Under, last year's West Coaster Line Honours winner. That's Daniel Edwards off White Noise doing the Devonport race this year. Turbulence, skipper Eric Marsh and his crew. And Mrs O, not a competitor this year, just a spectator, but heading down to the Portsea start line to have a bit of a look at the race. Beaty Who too, also doing the Devonport race, skipper Paul Lindemann. Steb Fisher on the Southern Peninsula Rescue Squad boat out to take some great photos of the start. The double-hander going to Devonport, Halcyon, Chris Tucker and Jeremy Walton. And here's our line honours favourite for the West Coaster race this year, Paul Buckholtz, skipper of Ecstasy and his crew. Robert Bradley's Escapade, winner on AMS in the 2013 Melbourne to Osaka yacht race, and he's doing the West Coaster this year. Eddie Macavecchius off Merline, who did the Melbourne Hobart East Coaster in 2013, but doing the Devonport race this year. And Angus Fletcher, Tavaki 2, another stalwart of the Ocean Racing Club of Victoria Ocean Races, again going to Devonport this year. Charles Meredith, skipper at Peccadillo again, back for the second time in a row, going to Devonport again this year. Great to have the Maltese involved. Getting close to start time now. You can see spectators on Portsea Pier, numbers are starting to increase. And that looks like Ocean Skins. Tony Fowler's Beneteau 47.7 from Geelong. One for the road, Gary Prestage from Royals. And Ian Lewis's Blue Chip. Not long to go to the start now. Starting to rack up.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, the start has started. The flare gun must have misfired. It was a little bit late, but as all yachties know, the guns only draw attention to the flags on the start boat. So we're off and racing. Pretty conservative start there. Looks like Ocean Skins has won the start at the Portsea Pier end, closely followed by White Noise at the boat end. Spirit of Down Under pretty quick to hoist colour there on the second row at the start. And Beaty Who too also had a pretty good start at the boat end of the line. Spirit's got that kite up and going now and starting to mow down the fleet. Ocean Skins also had a great start. No spinnaker yet on White Noise. Bacardi and Peccadillo and Tavaki at the boat end of the line. Peccadillo, once he got that code 0 up, is mowing down the fleet. Started well behind, but catching up at 1,000,000 miles an hour. And Spirit is off and firing. They've elected to keep their heads up with their 3/4 assy by the looks. So it's Ecstasy at the moment, leading from One for the Road, Spirit of Down Under and White Noise. It looks like Spirit's making a bit of a challenge on One for the Road. Gary has a quick look over his shoulder to see where he is. A couple more kites being hoisted now, and Peccadillo absolutely mowing down the fleet. That's One for the Road's big masthead assy, just holding off Spirit at the moment. Ocean Skins had a great start on the boat end of the line. Looks like Spirit's got One for the Road there. That's a spectator boat. And Peccadillo still mowing down the fleet. Line on as favourite in the Westcoaster Ecstasy. Spirit pretty close to Ecstasy at this stage and has boat speed on him at the moment. Not quite past One for the Road yet, Spirit of Down Under, but does have boat speed and is to weather of One for the Road. Some colour up on Tavaki too now, which is great. Oh, looks like Merline got a bit of a gust from offshore there. Managed to get their kite under control pretty quickly. And back to Eric Marsh's Turbulence, who's also put his spinnaker up as well. A good ship Yoko. No spinnaker on Yoko at this stage, just elected for full main and big jib. Spirit of Down Under now leading to the turning mark off Queenscliff. Absolutely going 1,000,000 miles an hour. Followed by Peccadillo, Ecstasy, and then One for the Road. Spirit of Down Under should be first to that first turning mark off Queenscliff. And you can see Point Nepean in the background there and Port Phillip Heads. No shortage of spectator boats out with the fleet this afternoon. Fairly well behaved spectator fleet as well, which is great. Not interrupting any of the boats. Close up on Spirit, and there's Laurie Ford ready to douse the spinnaker by the looks. And there goes the drop. You can see the buoy, the first turning mark in the left. Oh, hang on a minute. Spirit sailed past the buoy. They must be having trouble with their kite halyard. It's now sailing well past the buoy. In real trouble, Spirit of Down Under. If they don't hurry up, Peccadillo and Ecstasy will catch them pretty quickly. And just behind Ecstasy, One for the Road. Looks like Peccadillo's furled his code 0 okay. Spirit still with trouble in the background there, getting his kite down. And Ecstasy, fantastic drop on Ecstasy. So Peccadillo will be first around the mark, followed by Ecstasy. Unfortunate for Laurie Ford and Spirit of Down Under. If he doesn't hurry up quickly, One for the Road will be third around the mark. Looks like Spirit's back under control again. Looks like they've got most of that kite in now. And Spirit was in fact third around the mark. Got Tavaki 2, Angus Fletcher and Ocean Skins. Ocean Skins will be next round. Good drop on Ocean Skins. And Tavaki 2 as well. White Noise and Merline neck and neck. Both in the Devonport race. And there's Bacardi. And Escapade, the last boat to round the first mark off Queenscliff before they head out the Heads. And our protocols with the Port of Melbourne Corporation are working well, because just as the fleet was heading out of Port Phillip Heads, the Spirit of Tasmania was heading in. Next port of call for these boats will be Devonport or Hobart.